There's something here that's not human and never has been.
The girl apparently was shot and her body was carried to the field.
While we're walking through the basement, both of us heard a blood-curdling scream.
Whatever dark thoughts or energy he was having is the dark energy that manifests itself.
Blood. Monster.
Okay, that's interesting.
If you notice your personality starting to change, get out the house.
What am I doing?
Whoa.
That's that evil.
Are you the shadow figure that people see down here?
Yes. Ooh. Wow.
Are you the dark energy that lives in this basement?
This place is up.
Okay, I am completely and utterly lost.
All right, Ryan. Another night, another investigation, another new city. We're in Mechanicsville, Virginia.
We're in Mechanicsville, and we are at the cabin on 360. Now, this place has a very dark history.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have to think about not only the history of the two buildings that still sit on this property that we are going to have complete access to tonight, that we are going to be alone inside of, but also the land that it sits on dates back to some very gruesome and bloody Civil War battles that left thousands dead all across this entire area.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, this is a different type of investigation. I had no idea how dark the history of one of these structures actually is.
Yeah, I had no idea either, and it is quite the tale, quite the story. It's all true. It all happened. It's documented.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to be in here and investigate this place and to try and see if we can document some of the hauntings, the ghost stories, the paranormal activity that's been seen and reported throughout this property. Because there are some intense and crazy stories that have left people terrified of this place.
Yeah.
So let's walk around. We have two buildings that we're going to be investigating tonight. This cabin and the brick ranch house next door. And that is where the darker energy is inside that house.
My buddy's family has owned this since 1978. So Ryan Jones is my buddy. Nearly 10 years ago, he was trying to get me to come out here and check the places out. We have a team, Commonwealth Researchers of the Paranormal. And the idea was we would come out and just check them out. They were sitting vacant. You know, hey, maybe we can use them as just training ground for the team. And I kept thinking, there's not going to be anything there. They're just empty houses, big deal. I'm a bit of a sensitive, and I walked into the brick rancher next door, and I couldn't have been 3 feet in the door, and I told Ryan, there's something here that's not human and never has been. This place is up. While we're walking through the basement, both of us heard a blood-curdling scream. I mean, it was just a scream of sheer terror. And it was loud enough that it wasn't the typical response, did you hear that? It was, what the hell was that? We went through the house looking, ran outside to see if maybe somebody had crashed a car or, something. Nothing. And then, as we kind of play it back in our head, we realized it echoed through the house. That came from within. We got so much activity out of the brick rancher that we're like, man, we need to, just open it up and let other teams come in and see if they get the same stuff. Then the company that owns it, which is, again, Jones Construction, leased the brick rancher out. An insurance man chose to make it his agency headquarters. Signed a 2-year lease, and in 10 months packed up and left. I did as much research as I could at the courthouse trying to find anything and everything. Nothing came up. And then finally the deputies there asked me why I was spending so much time at the courthouse. And when I told them what I was investigating and what I was researching, they told me, hang on a minute. And Captain Nelson came over and spoke with me, and then she introduced me to a lieutenant that was also a patrol deputy at the time. And that gave us a name. So on the morning of Friday, October 4th, 1979, the family that lived there was the Elliott family. Somewhere between 7:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m., 17-year-old Randy Lynn Elliott had raped and murdered his 12-year-old half-sister, Melissa Carol Elliott. Upon realizing what had taken place, he threw her partially clothed body out the bedroom window, carried her off into the woods, dropped her body into a refrigerator box. He was seen by construction workers carrying something and then questioned, dropped what he had in the box, and fled across the fields. He was later found 3 days later, actually, in Lumberton, North Carolina, charged with her murder, was brought back here to face the death sentence. He entered a plea agreement for life in prison without parole and was paroled in April of 2019.
This was Tuesday, October 2nd, 1979. A 17-year-old boy has been waived extradition and was to be returned to Virginia from North Carolina to face SA and murder charges in the slaying of his 12-year-old half-sister. The girl apparently was shot in the Elliott's single-story brick home, and her body was carried or dragged more than 75 yards to the field where construction workers found her around 10 a.m. The workers and a neighbor told police they saw the young man run from the field into the woods. From what Dennis has said, there's a lot of activity in this home. He believes that she is still here, and he believes there's also something darker that resides downstairs in the basement, something that has affected him on this property, something that has affected people that he knows while they've been on this property. And he said, and he gave us a warning that was quite ominous, that he said that if you start to act strange, that maybe you should take a break from that particular house.
We had a New Year's Eve party here one night, and I'm sitting back here in the corner drinking my coffee, got a TV going with Times Square. I've got teammates and their kids and friends and their kids. Everybody's laughing and dancing and having a good time. The kids are jamming to the TV, and I just started getting mad. And the madder I got, the more I wanted to cause harm. I went next door, I threw the front door open, slammed it into the wall, and I yelled, "All right, mother, we need to talk." And there was an audible growl through the house. So I went in the basement and I started going off on it. You are not allowed in my thoughts, you are not allowed in my emotions, you are not allowed to plant these negative thoughts in my mind. While I'm going off, Ryan comes downstairs and he's like, "You all right, bro?" I'm like, "I'm good, just setting the record straight." Oh, okay. Well, so the house growled at me. "I'll be next door." And he bugged out. So there is something over there. You know, my typical warning is, you know each other better than we know you. If you notice your personality starting to change or you're getting angry for no reason, take a break. Get out the house.
The events of that morning happened in here. And from what Dennis had told us, her half-brother then threw her out this window and then carried her off into the woods behind the house into the field about 75 yards away. And still to this day, people don't really know exactly what led to that boy, that 17-year-old boy, doing something so horrific and so heinous. There's stories, there's theories, but nobody really knows except for him. I mean, he has not been very forthcoming with the details exactly of what happened, and I'm refraining from saying his name out loud, simply because I don't want Melissa to hear his name again in this room. So
it's a very tragic thing, very sad thing that happened here in this room, and his room was in the room right next door here, and there's talk that he spent a lot of time in the basement and a lot of dark things, dark energies possibly, that had an effect on him and made him do those things. Now, whether that's true or not, or that's just a scapegoat for him, I don't know, but I think we should walk down there and see if maybe we can feel something while we're down there.
Well, there's a couple of different things. One, his story, according to an intake document that I got a hold of from Department of Corrections, was that morning he had woke up, did a couple of lines of cocaine, barged into her room to tell her to get ready to go, that he was taking her to school. A fight broke out. Next thing he remembers is waking up on the floor in her doorway with a pistol laying beside him and seeing her laying on the floor across the room. He said he went over to nudge her and get her to move, said her body was cold. He freaked out, threw her body out the bedroom window, and just wanted to hide the body in the woods until he could figure out what to do. The other theory is, and this gets a little disturbing, there had been SA going on in the home for a period of time, and she just finally had gotten fed up. We don't know the truth, and unless he comes forward and tells us the truth, we may never know. Now, he has been spoken to since, actually within the past probably 6 to 8 months. When he was asked if he did it, his statement was, even though I'm a convicted man, I wasn't there that day. That house should have been burned down years ago. I kind of take that as he wasn't there mentally, because we know he was physically there. But I also think he's trying to blame part of it on the house, and maybe something there has influenced it. I've sat and interviewed one of her classmates that was supposed to sleep over that night with her, and she claimed that he had been spending more and more time alone in the basement leading up to the incident, and would get mad and fight with his mom when she called him upstairs for dinner. So did something influence him? I don't know if that's possible, but if there is a way for a dark energy to play in one's mind, maybe that is the cause.
Right above here is where her bedroom was.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, right above this, because that would have been his room in the corner. And right above here would have been her bedroom where it happened. But like Dennis had said, he spent a lot of time down here in the basement. And it was to the point to where when his mother would ask him to come up and eat dinner, he would get very angry. And he didn't want to leave this basement. And I do not, and I know some people subscribe to the idea that these dark forces can cause people to do horrible and horrific things, and but I don't believe in using that as an excuse. I don't believe in, like Dave said, using it as a scapegoat for actions that are taken, because it can so easily be used as an excuse. It's like, well, I did this horrible thing because evil entities made me do it.
Yeah.
But who's to say it's not the other way around? Whatever dark thoughts or energy he was having down here in the basement is the dark energy that manifests itself.
Sure. Yeah.
Again, poltergeist. He's a teenager. He's going through strong emotional period in his life and obviously had very violent tendencies. What if in that moment of him hanging out down here all the time, that is what people are picking up on down here? That angry and violent energy that seems to present itself. And the shadow figures that are seen walking across this basement.
I don't know. Who knows? And like you said, inviting that kind of energy in, just because you leave doesn't mean that energy leaves, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know very well from our investigation of the Belle Plaine murder house, the negative energy and that anger and that emotion can be felt still long after it's happened. I mean, you felt that anger and that energy in the Belle Plaine murder house.
Yes.
When we were there.
Like, do you guys feel that? It's just, like, overwhelming. Like, a oppression. That's the word. Like,
Re-rolling?
so oppressive.
And maybe that's still what people are feeling down here in this basement and in this house. But again, like I'd mentioned earlier, if Melissa is here, I don't want to speak the name of that boy and make her relive that. So I'm going to try my hardest not to say his name in this house at all tonight. And that might seem weird to some people, but just out of respect for her and her memory, and if she is still here. But
I've got a couple of different theories. One, you're sitting on battlefields. And within a mile to a mile and a half of here, I can account for 2,264 men that were killed, captured, wounded, or missing in action. If one of the theories in the paranormal is true, that man's atrocity to man can open a rip to the other side, you're in a prime location. Just a tenth of a mile to, it will be my left, was a Confederate headquarters. And then about a mile off to that direction was a Union headquarters. So we're right in the middle. Now, this was battlefields for the battles of Bethesda Church. And it got very gruesome here. I do know that there was a home that sat on this parcel during the Civil War, and it was the Curry family. And I think Mr. and Mrs. are both here. And they're actually mentioned in a lieutenant colonel's journal notes from the Via house that was the Union headquarters. His journal entry says, "This morning along came a most peculiar couple, the Curry family. They've come seeking reparations for damages done to their home as our troops progress towards Cold Harbor." Now, Cold Harbor is a major battle 3.1 miles away. But he then goes on to say that Mr. Curry, a flabby, mostly retired-looking gentleman, and Mrs. Curry, a tawdrily dressed woman with a spiteful, biting tongue, have asked for reparations as they claim our troops gutted their home on the progression towards Cold Harbor. Reparations were initially considered until such time as Mrs. Curry opened her mouth, and she's quoted as saying, "At the beginning of this God-forsaken war, I wish nothing but the best for the Union Army and her endeavors. Now I wish sweet Mother Earth would open up and swallow them whole, myself included."
Yeah, supposedly there was a lot of anger between the Currys and the troops that went through here. And that's why they do think that they might still be here on the property, because they're still angry about the whole situation. So
a lot of people have had some very intense paranormal experiences that span this entire cabin. Footsteps being heard, strange lights and anomalies being captured on camera, seeing full-bodied apparitions, and an intense story of a woman who had a near-death experience in the very next room over where we started.
Oh, okay. I didn't even hear about that.
Yes.
She said, "I remember at one point standing over here by the hearth, looking back and seeing her own body in the chair. And then an old man and an old woman walked up beside her, and they looked at each other. They looked back at her body. She looked back at him. And he said, 'You know, it's not your time. You're not ready. You have to go back.' She said, 'Next thing I remember is waking up, talking to the paramedics very briefly, and then waking up 2 days later in the hospital.'"
Yeah, that's something that you always hear is, like, why is my brand new house haunted? It's not necessarily the house, it's the land on which it sits that could be haunting your house. And that very thing could be happening with this cabin right here. It's only maybe about 40 years old, so
yeah,
it's hard to tell.
40 years, and nobody's ever lived here.
No.
But they did have businesses here, and there was a business upstairs that they talked about. So let's walk upstairs and take a look and take a peek at this second floor up here.
Well, let's walk upstairs and take a looky peek.
A looky peek.
Many years ago, we did a toy drive. And at the end of the night, I chose to just throw a sleeping bag on the floor up in the loft. So I put my pillow against the railing. I laid my weapon up by my shoulder, plugged my phone in, had a speaker down here playing Pandora, and I just went to sleep, slid into the sleeping bag. I learned a valuable lesson that night. If you're going to sleep in a haunted location in a sleeping bag, don't zip it. You can't get out fast enough. I woke up when the music stopped and there was an old man standing at my feet with his arms folded across his chest, just looking at me. We locked eyes for a good 3, 4, 5 seconds. And then I started reaching for my weapon. Could not find it. Finally turned my head real quick to spot it. And when I shook out of the holster to activate the light and turned back, he was gone. Could the old man and old woman that was standing beside the young lady that tried to take her own life be the Currys? I think possible. The old man that was standing beside me could have been the Mr. Curry as well. I didn't see a woman. I think if I'd seen a man and woman together, I probably would have made a mess in the sleeping bag. It was bad enough seeing him.
I think we should split up. One of us here, one of us in the room. Something just moved over here. Down below.
Ooh. I got Cabin 13 vibes when I looked over this.
Yeah. Is there somebody down there? Messing with our equipment?
That's the second time that we've heard something. Because as Dennis was leaving, there was actually a weird metallic or glass sound on the mantle down there. And we couldn't figure out what that was.
I know. We'll have to keep listening for some of these strange sounds, because it seems like there's already some movement. Maybe we can track down what's causing these noises and explain them as natural. Mm-hmm. Or maybe we won't, and maybe they'll can continue or remain unexplained. So.
Yeah.
And that set off most of what we have now for the information of what took place. I interviewed both deputies, now captain and lieutenant. You heard the footsteps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it sounded like creaking.
Yeah, but yeah, that is quite common. You'll hear them in the hallway walking back and forth. It doesn't stop.
All right, so before we head over to the Elliott family home next door, the ranch house next door, and set up for abandonment there, we wanted to introduce a piece of equipment that Dennis is letting us use. It's made by one of his friends. They have a group called Boo's Paranormal, B-O-O''S Paranormal. And I thought this was cool. So this is basically a REM pod that's shaped like a cigar. It's called the cigar pod. And so if someone comes up and tries to touch the cigar, so if, let's say, Mr. Curry was a cigar smoker, Mr. Curry, if you want the cigar, we have a cigar for you. Thought it was pretty cool, so we're going to try and use it and see if Mr. Curry wants himself a cigar. All right, this is on the first floor of the main cabin area. We got Miss Molly, the soon-to-be haunted doll, and we're going to take her over there and see if there's any activity around her at the farm, at the ranch house.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen our episode from
Cottage 13,
where something very crazy happened with Miss Molly, the possibly haunted doll, make sure you go and check out that episode. It'll be linked below or up above. All right, turn that off. I want to make sure this looks good first.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How's that wall glowing?
It looks pretty cool.
Cool. So we are officially ready and set up for abandonment. We have 2 cameras set up here in the Elliott family home. One of them here at Melissa's bedroom where the horrific crime took place. One downstairs in the basement. Over at cabin 360, we have 2 cameras set up. One in the loft, as you saw, and then one down on the first level as well. We're going to be trying something out that is brand new here in this ranch home here at cabin 360, the Elliott house. We have been talking with Connor of Paranormal Encounters, who actually created something. We had a need for a tool. He had a need for a tool, and he decided that he was going to make it. So what we have is what he is referring to as Project Phantom. And so this is going to be asking questions for us while we're gone. It is an app that he created, and later on in the future it may become available for release, but for right now we're just going to use it on our investigations. But we'll have all announcements. Stay tuned to the channel for any announcements about that. But we actually were able to put some custom questions in here to ask Melissa while we're gone, and we're going to have a woman's voice asking the questions. So maybe she'll feel more comfortable if it's a lady's voice asking her these questions. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Just know that the questions you're hearing are not responses from a spirit. It is simply doing the job of asking questions while we're gone. So we can have questions asked, and we can ask questions without even being here.
That's right.
So we're going to go ahead, and you ready to start this session?
I'm ready. I just wanted to tell Melissa that we've got this device here in the house. It's going to be asking questions to you. We'd love it if you could respond into our little orange light right there that's on the ground. And we also brought you a little doll. If you'd like to play with the doll, we brought the doll for you. And don't be afraid to play with her. And there's also a little red light beside of her. You can play with that little red light too.
Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start session here. Let me make sure that we are still in the correct voice. So let me go ahead and hit start session. And it'll give us 59 seconds before the first question's asked.
Okay. We also have a piccolo set up in here. We forgot to mention that.
Yes.
And a tripwire right out here. And out of respect, I'm just going to very calmly say that we are leaving.
Yes, we're leaving.
You got the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Car keys.
How many spirits are present? Can you give me a sign?
Back. You probably already knew that from me screaming on the front porch. We're back. Still rolling? We're still rolling. Is that camera rolling in there? Yeah. Is that in the parents' room?
Yes.
You can touch that. What did you hear?
Like a knocking sound. No, I didn't hear that. Dave Audio. First session. Ranch house.
Whoa.
You like that thing?
What if we put this over here?
Yeah.
That's much better. Gives us a better view of like the hearth and.
You want to help me stretch this
Yeah, I sure
out
do.
in here? In here.
Oh, in here. All right, we're officially back inside the ranch house, the Elliott house, here connected to the cabin on 360. And we have some equipment set up. Dave and I are going to start off with a session together, but we had the idea, since there's two of these buildings, this can be the only session we do together. After this, we're splitting up. One of us will be in the cabin, one of us will be here, and then we switch to see if when we're alone in these places, anything happens to us. So, we'll see. One thing I wanted to point out, that picture that I showed earlier on the walkthrough is up here on the mantle. And we put Miss Molly, the soon-to-be haunted doll, or the possibly already haunted doll, I'm not sure, with the REM pod beside Melissa's picture. So, what occurred in this house was an absolute tragedy. So, if she is still here, which we hope she's not still here, but if she is still here and she wants to communicate, we're going to try and give her every outlet that we can for her to speak and tell her story.
Absolutely.
When we were getting started earlier, as we were setting up equipment, the REM pod was going off in the parents' bedroom. The same bedroom that Dennis told us. Seems to be like the heaviest feeling, the most ominous of the bedrooms. Melissa, or anyone that might be here. We brought that immediately.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Melissa, if that was you that touched that. My name is Ryan and this is Dave, and we came to speak to you. To see if you would like to talk to us and maybe tell us about your life.
Also, Melissa, we know that something terrible happened to you in here by a boy. But you don't have to worry about either of us doing anything like that. We're not that type of people. You're safe with us. Okay? Can you touch that green light in the window if you understand? That's okay.
We do have the tracer wire set up once again, just to show everyone how that works if you've never seen that. It uses LiDAR to detect when something is in front of it. So if I'm walking over top of it here and I put my foot, you can see how it lights up. Turn my IR light off here for a better look. So you can see how it lights up. Ooh. So you see how it lights up white where my foot is, and then red where my foot had been. So you can literally track the motion. So that's what we're looking for.
Melissa, can you try and catch that moving blue light that's on the ground? Can you try and catch that with your hand?
Or if you want to speak to us and use words, there's a box in the windowsill next to that green light that if you get close to that box, we think you can make it say words. Can you make it say a word for us? So maybe we could use it to talk. You don't have to, though. How about this? Dennis said that you like to do this. Can you finish that?
Melissa, would it be all right if me and Ryan came in your room to talk to you? If you'd rather that we stayed out of your room, can you touch the green light that's in the window and we'll stay out? Or if it's okay if we come in, can you touch the blue light on the ground? If somebody other than Melissa is here, can you touch the red light that's on the mantle in the living room by the doll? Well, we're going to walk away from your room now, Melissa. If you want to play with any of those toys that we brought, you go ahead and play with them, okay?
Is anyone from the Elliott family here with us? If you're here, can you shut that basement door for us if you want to keep whatever's down there, down there? If there's something nasty down there, you can shut that door and keep them in. Everything's awfully quiet right now.
It is, yeah. You could hear a pin drop in this place.
All right, so we're going to do an EVP session with live review, or immediate playback, I should say, not live review. We're going to set this down, maybe in Melissa's room, and then step back, ask questions from outside the door, and then listen back and see if we can hear a response on there from her. Maybe she'll be kind enough to talk to us.
Perhaps.
Nothing through the Ovilus yet. Rolling EVP session in Melissa's room. Placing on the floor. And stepping out of the room. Melissa, if you're here, that bright red light on the floor. Can maybe hear your voice if you get close to it and speak loudly enough. Can you hear us, Melissa? Do you like people coming in here to visit you and talking to you? Is there something mean and nasty down in the basement?
Nothing. Go into this guy's room here. He doesn't even deserve air to breathe.
I mean, he's still alive, so he's definitely not here.
No, he's definitely not here, but the person who was in this room does not deserve air to breathe.
Right.
So, if there is some sort of what they thought maybe dark energy in this house that was coercing this kid, maybe it stays in this room, and whatever that energy is doesn't deserve any type of anything either.
Ovilus spoke. It doesn't make any sense, but it finally said something. It said rate.
Rate?
Yeah, R-A-T-E, rate.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense, but it's the first word that it said in 25 minutes. Pause.
I'm coming into this room. You don't want me in this room? Open that door, open the closet door, and I'll leave. Touch the red light in the other room, I'll leave.
Speak through that box in the windowsill. Tell us what you think about Dave being in the room. Is there something that he should be afraid of in there?
What was the second thing it said?
Pause.
Oh, that's right.
I think. At least that's what it sounded like from out here. Odd that it didn't say anything for 25 minutes, and then the minute you start going into this room, it starts talking.
Yeah. I mean that, though. The person who occupied this room does not deserve air to breathe. And if there is some sort of energy here that made somebody do that to somebody else, you also didn't deserve to breathe. Or do you think you want to grab this REM pod and maybe the tripwire and go downstairs or something?
To the basement? Yeah.
Maybe Molly?
Screwball.
What'd it say?
I don't know. Scruple. It said scruple.
Scruple, huh? Better than Scrabble.
Maybe they still have all their scruples.
Possibly.
Which is more than can be said for us.
Yeah.
If there's anyone down here that wants to talk to us, we brought this doll with us that you're more than welcome to put some bad energy on.
If there is a dark spirit in this basement or in this house like they claim, feel free to try and attach yourself to that doll that's right there in that circle of lights. If you're capable of doing such a thing like they claim. But only to the doll. You're only given permission to the doll. Not me, not him. But I don't think you'll do it. There was a 17-year-old boy who came down here, according to the stories, who may have been affected by something in this basement. If that was you that affected that boy in 1979, well, they say evil never dies, so if you're still here,
What was that?
go touch that doll. It may have been the Ovilus up there.
It might have been. I have to watch back on the footage because it'll be synced up. This is only the second time that we've ever had the Ovilus say the name Ida that we can remember. Ida? The only other time was at Randolph County Asylum. I brought you some things. Just a few weeks ago, when I was in the cell of a woman named Ida Gunkel. If I step out of your room, will you speak then? If I talk to you from out here, will you feel more comfortable?
Ida.
What the No way. No way. Are you even serious right now? With over 2,000 words and names in the device, it's strange the name Ida has been repeated by the Ovilus just 2 investigations later.
Well, they say evil never dies, so
Ida.
if you're still here,
What was that?
go touch that doll. It may have been the Ovilus up there.
It might have been. I have to watch back on the footage because it'll be synced up. Someone is speaking through that box up there after we stood there and waited for it to talk to us, or someone to talk to... After we stood there and waited for someone to talk to us through it, and no one was speaking, and now we come down here and it's speaking? Well, if you don't like being watched while you do that, that's fine. You can go ahead and tell us your message now.
And if it was Melissa that made that go off, we're not yelling at you.
No, I'm not yelling, Melissa. I'm just talking loudly so you can hear me if you're upstairs.
Did you touch Did you touch any of our devices that we left down here earlier? If you're upstairs, can you do this?
Was that you?
It sounded like metal or something.
Upstairs. Sound like it came from the kitchen?
You're gonna have to do it a little bit louder if that was you.
Tub.
They say they see shadows back here all the time. Why is that? You want to try something else, or?
Yeah, I think before we start our solos and split up, I think I'm gonna run over to the cabin and grab the headphones. And maybe we should just try 10-15 minutes doing an Estes Method spirit box session here inside the house before we switch up and go to our solos, being alone in the cabin and in the house.
Yeah.
Because I feel like someone wants to communicate. I just get that vibe, but I feel like it's just not happening for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe trying one more way, maybe we'll get something.
It's worth a shot.
Make that connection, if that's even possible. So let's go grab the stuff. Let's go see what the obelisk said first, though, because I need to know what that said up there.
Okay.
Did you say something? That's weird.
What?
It said Ida again.
Really?
Then it said tub.
Huh. That is weird. Maybe Ida follows us. I don't know.
Maybe Ida took a liking to us so much she decided she wanted to come with us.
Perhaps. Ida, if that is you, you know how to work these devices.
Okay, so we're gonna run over to the cabin and see if and grab the headphones, and we'll be back in a minute.
Key?
Mm-hmm. We left these cameras alone inside this house where a horrific crime took place in 1979, while we went over to the cabin to grab the equipment for the Estes Method Spirit Box session. In total, these cameras were alone for about 15 minutes, and in that time, the house was completely silent. None of our equipment triggered. The obelisk didn't say any more words, and nothing unexplainable was captured on our audio or video. All right, now that calamity's taken care of,
We're back.
hopefully this Estes session will be more eventful and give us answers about what is causing the paranormal activity inside this house. Hello? What the hell is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that a sump pump? God.
That was a good scream.
It is. Some kind of a pump, sump pump.
Okay.
Perfect timing to get ready to start filming down here.
Oh no.
Whew.
Did your heart stop?
Yeah. Yeah. You could leave this in or cut it out, but I think that might have been what made that go off up there.
I think it might have been too. But it's weird, why would that make it... That's on the opposite side of the house. I mean, I'm not doubting that could make that go off, but...
Yeah. I don't know.
It was the
Right,
Mel
'cause of
meter
this.
in front of her bedroom.
This right here.
Oh, is that what it's plugged into?
Yeah. Yeah, it runs straight up and over.
Yep. Straight up, over,
And straight back.
and along the wall, straight back to the pump, so that...
Not to debunk the only thing that we've gotten since we've been here. Don't
Right.
know about abandonment, but...
And you know what's interesting? If I hadn't moved that Mel meter to that spot, it wouldn't have gone off when that sump pump kicked on, because I literally set it right outside of that bedroom, which is literally right above this electrical box.
Yeah.
Which is what kicked on. So maybe I should move that Mel meter. Are you all right? Or you?
Yeah,
you
I'm
literally
good.
had a heart attack.
Also, though, if you hadn't have done that and that hadn't gone off, then that would have scared us extra bad.
Why?
Because we wouldn't have been on high alert.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if I hadn't have moved that Mel meter,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been expecting something to happen. We would have just been
Yeah. Wow.
in the swing of setting up and then probably our pants.
Yes.
If anything, we got a great scream out of Dave. So, there's that. It's the little victories.
Alright, guys, so we're going to start an Estes method spirit box session
Okay.
down here in the basement.
Are you
of
ready?
the Brick Rancher at Cabin on 360. So we're going to get ready and get started here.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Headphone going on. And sweeping.
Alright. Alright, so we've got the Estes method started. If there are any spirits here in the house, my name is Dave. My friend Ryan is sitting over there in a circle of purple lights. He has some headphones on his head, which is kind of like a way for him to hear you. He can hear you if you talk to him through the white noise, which is the radio that he's using. So can you come through to him and give him answers? I'm going to ask you questions, and I'd like for you to give your answers to Ryan through the white noise. Let's start off with, what is your name? Tell Ryan your name. Remember, you can use the white noise to make communication. So if you can, tell him your name, please.
Very distant man's voice sounded like he said, "Who's there?"
I already told you, my name is Dave. And that's Ryan. What's your name? It's your turn. Something very tragic happened here in this house. Do you know who it happened to? Tell Ryan the name of the person that the tragedy happened to. We're told that people see shadows all the time running across this wall back here. Is that you? Are you the shadow figure that people see down here?
Talk.
I am talking. I'm waiting on you to...
Yes.
Okay. So if that is your shadow that people see, what's your name? Tell me your name. Are you the dark energy that lives in this basement? Again, my friend Ryan is sitting over there in a chair with a circle of lights around him. Can you go up to him and try and touch one of those purple lights on the ground?
Stop. Man's voice, I think it said stop.
If you want me to stop, I'm going to need you to give me something better than that. So if you'd like me to stop trying to talk to you, there's a red light against the back wall on the ground next to a doll. Go and touch that red light and I'll stop right now. Again, something horrible happened in this house. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Who did it happen to?
You see it?
Who did the tragedy happen to in this house? Did you have a part in that?
George?
Are you part of the troop that went through here?
Yes.
Okay. What's your name?
Me.
Me isn't a name. Which troop were you a part of?
Couldn't make that one out, but there was a voice there.
Can you repeat yourself? Which troop were you a part of? Is your spirit stuck on this property? On this land? Come on, come out and talk to me.
You.
Mm-hmm. What is your name? You haven't even given me that yet. Does it upset you that many people come into this house?
Learning.
Do you know Dennis?
Stand me up.
How come you're supposedly here in this basement? I don't know where he's going.
Better.
Okay. Don't know why he just got up and left. That's weird. But if you're here, use the radio, please, to talk. Tell us what your name is. I need you to tell us what your name is. Melissa, if you're here, can you use the radio that Ryan has to say hello? Use that voice box. Use that radio box to try and communicate with us, please. Something awful happened in this house. And we truly hope that the spirit of that person is not here anymore.
Very distant voice there. You see that?
Can you tell me what year that you were born?
I love you, man's voice.
Who are you speaking to, sir? Who are you saying I love you to?
Ryan.
Okay.
Very clear. Same voice that said I love you.
Who is speaking?
Oh, I gotta review that one.
Who is speaking, please? Come through the radio. Tell us your name. We're going to have to turn the radio off here pretty soon, so if you have anything to say, can you say it now?
You.
Who is this, please? All right, guys, I'm going to go pull Ryan out of the Estes. It's time.
Okay, where am I?
In this main bedroom here.
Oh, wow. I just kind of started walking and feeling my way around once I got upstairs. Wasn't even really sure what bedroom I was in or what room I was in. So with that, I think it's time for us to split up. I think it's time to do these solo things. One of us in the cabin on 360, right over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right over there. And then one of us here, and then we switch and see what happens.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so we are officially split up. We're solo. I'm here alone inside the cabin on 360, and Dave is alone over in the house where the tragedy with the Elliott family took place back in 1979.
Alright guys, so I'm getting started with my solo here in the main brick house. I've got a tracer wire set up here in the living room, and I've got a REM pod in the one bedroom, the main bedroom, and I've got a millimeter at the top of the basement steps.
We did a live stream here over on our second channel, which is called Paranormal Quest Extras. So if you have not subscribed to Paranormal Quest Extras, that's where we do our live streams. We don't do live streams on this channel. It's on the Extras channel. So make sure you go and look for that. While we got started with the live stream, a lot of it was us leaving the live stream alone in here while we were investigating that last session.
Can you give me a sign?
We did start off the live stream by doing a little bit of ghost tube up here, and ghost tube was coming through with some very, very relevant things, which was quite interesting. I know you were really mad at the Union soldiers for destroying your house, and we're sorry about that.
Damage.
That's creepy. Very coincidental. Yeah, that's what they did to your house, huh? They damaged your house.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Just to see what comes through here. Now, of course, we can't say that this is paranormal evidence, but sometimes there's some stuff that comes through with a lot of coincidence and relevancy. So, I'm going to set this, actually, I'm going to put it over here by the music box, which you can see is right here on this little rocking horse. So we got ghost tube and the music box on the rocking horse. If there's anyone here with me, my name is Ryan. I'd love it if you could come through and say something that'll let me know that you're here. Ooh. Wow. Candle immediately went off. I hope that camera over there could see that and caught that, or I wasn't standing in front of it. Thank you. If that was you, can you turn the candle back on for me by touching it? Mr. and Mrs. Curry, are you here? That lady who had a near-death experience.
You can't stay.
You can't stay. I don't want to. I'm not staying. I'm just visiting. I'm not invading your space. I'm just visiting your home. That's me. Let me see if you can see that candle in this. You sure can. You can see the candle.
I come and go.
You come and go.
So if there's anybody here with me, my name is Dave. Me and my friend Ryan have been in here all night tonight trying to make communication with somebody. And we don't think that we've had any luck so far. But if you're in here, I would like to talk to you still. So if you could you try and trigger one of the devices that I have set up? You can see them, they've got bright lights on them. Okay, that was weird. I just saw, I think that was a heat rising signature on the tracer wire, which would make sense because I'm in here moving around and breathing. So, yeah, I know there was an awful, terrible thing that happened here in this house. I am so sorry to hear about that. It's an awful terrible, awful thing that happened. So if nobody's ever apologized to you for that, I would like to apologize that something like that happened to you. It's awful and should never happen to anybody. Hopefully, your spirit is no longer here. I would hate to know that it is here. You deserve to be at peace, and I hope you are.
On that live stream, it seemed like someone was a soldier that fought in the battles that took place in the fields behind this house. Behind this cabin.
Knock.
You can knock if you'd like. It's me.
Can you see the bright blue light in the middle of the floor in here? If you can, I would love it if you could try and see if you could catch that blue light in your hand, or maybe stomp on it. See if you could catch it under your foot or something. That would be really cool. Would you want to do that for me? I thought I heard some knocking sounds. Was that you? If that was you, can you try and knock really loud? Is there somebody in here?
That little girl creeps me out. When we first walked in, I looked up here and saw her and had a pretty good jump scare. Right here in this corner, Dennis was sleeping and woke up and saw a man. Oh, that's me. Whew, I scared myself with that one. Backed right up into it. Dennis was sleeping in that corner and saw a man watching him with his arms crossed. You told me that I can't stay. Do you not like when people sleep in this cabin because you think this is your home? Is this now the home of the Currys? Mr. and Mrs. Curry? If that's true, can you touch one of these lights or step in front of this music and make the music play?
Your arm.
What about my arm?
All right, guys. So the reason that I personally am not going into that room is I am very empathic, and it's not something that I speak about much on here, but I just don't feel right going into that room by myself, knowing what happened in there, and I just feel like it would be more respectful to give space, you know. Now, I came into this room earlier and I got a little creeped out. Why is that? As I approached the door the first time we came over here, absolutely I felt an oppressive feeling, something a little bit more, I don't want to say dark because it didn't feel dark to me, but something more observant, more energetic in this room here, and I don't know why. Is there an energy that stays in this room? So if you are here, I know I've said it half a dozen times, but I don't know if or when you're ever listening, but my name is Dave, and I don't mean you any harm. And I'm talking to any spirits that are in this house. I don't mean anybody any harm. I'm just here to try to talk to somebody, so that's it. That's the only reason I'm here.
All right, so I put up the spirit pod right here, and over here what I'm going to turn on is a device from Boo's Paranormal. Friends of Dennis's.
Scott.
Scott, is that your name? They're friends of Dennis's, and they created this REM pod that is literally like a trigger object. And they call it the cigar pod. Because if you look at it, it is a cigar in an ashtray. So I'll turn it on here. And we will... Oh, it's already on. So you can see you get close to the cigar and it alarms. So if anyone wants that cigar, any of the soldiers or any of the Curry family or anyone that might be here, if you want a puff of that cigar, you can go ahead and grab it.
Thirst.
You're thirsty?
All right, guys, so I've started running GhostTube just to maybe see if something will come through that way. Maybe something relevant. Again, we don't use these to say that everything that we get is paranormal activity. We use it as part of the research, which is the whole point of this field, is to use these different devices to research and lend maybe some sort of understanding to the part of research that we're doing. My name is Dave. Are you able to use this device in my hand to come through and tell me what your name is? Do you know the name of the man who runs everything here now, who's keeping this house?
Blood. Monster.
Okay, that's interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about that to see if it makes sense to me? Also, this isn't going to hurt you either. We're just under the impression that you can use this to help yourself communicate with us. Because we're not really sure how easy that is for you. And we think maybe using these devices might make it easier for you.
I'm going to go ahead and leave this camera right here. in case something happens here. I'm going to step out. I'm going to step back out into the open part of the first floor here. Oh, the candle's back on. Thank you for turning the candle back on. If you turn the candle back on, can you
Back off.
Shoot. I'm sorry. Someone is very aggressive here. I don't know where to go that will make you comfortable. You said back off. But I don't know where to go, where to back off to, because I don't know where you are. If you let me know where you are, I can avoid that area.
Like. Scratching.
Scratching? Nobody's scratching.
Do you remember what I told you my name is? You remember that? It's all right if you don't. What is the name of the family that used to live here? The owner of this house thinks that your spirit is still here. Maybe it is and maybe it isn't. Either way, that's okay. This property means something to you, so if you are here, that would make sense. And again, that's okay. This is your special place.
Let me try really fast and see if I can get anything relevant through GhostTube Seer. All right. Oh, we got an image. You can use this to show me things, I think. It is a foggy field. Like, I see one tree in the fog. How if I sit down here at the top of the stairs? If I sit down at the top of the stairs, would you come and talk to me? Or make something happen? I'd love to hear your voice.
Let's take a pass downstairs, you guys. This is where all the shadows are seen down here. Supposedly.
This is strange.
Yeah, it is strange. Sorry that you think that. I'm not trying to make you feel strange. But I get it. I understand. I don't want you to feel threatened or anything, like I said before. It's just me here trying to have a conversation, and that's it. That's all it is. So, I understand completely if you don't feel comfortable talking to me. I'm going to have to go here in a few minutes, so if you have anything that you'd like to say, now would be the time. Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and go, so I would like to tell you that I'm very sorry about what happened in here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I do apologize that happened. It's an awful thing that happened. You didn't deserve that. And not everybody in the world is an evil monster like that. There are still some good people in the world. So if you did come out and talk to me at any point tonight, I might not have heard you, and I'm sorry for that. We're still learning how to do this, so maybe the next time I come back, I'll have a better way to communicate with you, and we can have a better conversation then. So, my friend Ryan's going to be coming back over here one last time, and I hope that you'll talk to him. You can trust him, he's a good person, and again, thank you very much for talking to me, if you did. Alright guys, let's make our way back over and meet back up with Ryan and see if maybe he had something happen over at the cabin. Goodbye, thank you for talking to me.
I don't know, guys. It could just be me. Hopefully Dave is getting something over there. God damn. There he is.
Were you talking about me?
I literally said, hopefully Dave is getting something over there, and you knocked on the door.
Here I am. How's it going over here?
The candle went off and on a couple times, but besides that, I've had absolutely nothing.
Oh, wow.
I even turned on GhostTube to see if it would say anything like it said when we were doing that live stream earlier.
Yeah.
And nothing. I had this strange feeling of something that I should do for my time over there at that house.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna leave the static camera inside.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna go around the back of the house and start at the window.
Okay.
And walk back to where he dumped her body.
Into the woods?
In the woods back there.
Okay.
Because it seems like the houses are quiet.
Yeah.
And I did get an image through Seer, which I'm running on right now, that was just like a tree in the fog.
Okay.
Doesn't mean much, but even before that, I was getting this feeling that maybe I should go back behind the house where she was found.
What is it?
I don't know. So I'm going to stop on this. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to actually go back into the woods.
Okay.
And see if anyone wants to talk back there in the woods for a few minutes, at least until I can't stand the cold anymore.
Yeah.
So, might be worth a shot.
All right, guys. I'm getting started on my second session here. I'm in the cabin. Ryan went over to the brick ranch house, and he said that he had some kind of plan that he was working on when he went over there. I kind of forget what it was he was talking about, but hopefully he's getting something good happen over there.
All right, it's official. I'm here inside the house. I have some equipment set up. I'm all alone in here, and I'm going to spend a couple minutes here in the house. And then when this clip, at about 15 minutes or so, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to walk from the window out into the trees, into the woods. I'm struggling, guys. I am sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today. But yeah, I'm going to be going out into the woods to where Melissa was found, to where he took her.
Well, hello to anybody who might be here. My name is Dave. And me and my friend Ryan have been here all night trying to make communication with you. And we would love it, or I would love it, if you could come out and talk to me, please. It's me. If it goes off. I'm going to sit right here in this chair and maybe have a conversation with you because I move around a lot and I'm loud. So, if you'd like to come out and talk to me, I would appreciate it. Again, my name is Dave. Is there anybody here with me?
I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to go anyway. I'm coming down. Dennis told us that there were multiple times you made him feel very, very angry. That there were multiple times that he had to come down here and tell you to leave him alone. Whatever energy is down here. And I've come here to try and see if there is some sort of dark energy down here in this basement.
You know, we came all the way from another part of the country to talk to you. We drove about 7 hours to come and talk to you. So if you're here, would love it if you could let me know by making the device that's in front of me on the floor alarm. All you have to do is touch it. Or there's a string of purple lights on the ground right above me. Right up above. You could also try and touch that and let me know you're here. I know that nobody really ever lived in this building, but perhaps maybe you worked here, or you built this building, or you worked for the company who owned it. Either way, I'd love to get to know you a little bit. So if you're here with me, let me know somehow.
If there's someone down here who means harm, who likes violence, can you come through this box right here and tell me that you're here with me? I can go where? That said evil. What's evil? That said evil. Is there something in this basement that would hurt me? I don't know if I believe that you're actually down here, that there is a dark energy here. Can you prove to me that there is? Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. What? Is there a dark energy that came into this house whenever that horrific act happened? The dark energy of the killer who spent a lot of time down here thinking about the horrible things he was going to do?
So far, so quiet, you guys. I am going to pull out the trusty ghost tube here and see if maybe something possibly relevant could come through. Again, not saying it's paranormal, but it's worth the attempt for research. I've got a device here that you can possibly come through and tell me what your name is. Would you be willing to do that for me? That was me. My name is Dave. I think I've already told you that a couple times. Probably more than a couple times. So, I apologize to you if I keep repeating myself, but I never know if or when you're listening to me, so every now and then I like to repeat my name, just in case. Could you use my device here on the table to tell me what your name is? What is it about this place that keeps you here? Can you tell me that?
Okay, so one of the claims is there's shadow figures seen down here. I just happened to notice shadow movement on this wall back here, but it was in conjunction with when there was a car outside on the road, so I have to keep that in mind, that the light coming in through the window over here on the back side of the house, even though it does not face the road, that there's still light that will come in through that window when a car passes and, you know, cause shadows along that wall. So I have to keep that in mind. This is a beautiful house, despite the horrible thing that happened here. Whew, I do not feel good today. Whether it's in here, the location, whatever, or just in general, I don't feel good, but I just don't feel good. Why don't I feel good? Is there something wrong with me?
Is there anybody up here with me? Feel free to come out and have a chat with me. Can you make a knocking sound to let me know you're here? How long have you been here? That was the fridge downstairs. You stand up here and look down at people?
So here is her window. This right here is the window that she would have been... Melissa would have been thrown out this window. And from here, carried back into the trees. The girl apparently was shot in the Elliott's single-story brick home, and her body was carried or dragged more than 75 yards to the field, where construction workers found her around 10 a.m. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe you're tired of people coming in and out of your space here.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29. What am I doing? 30, 31, 32.
I'm looking out at the land here, the property. Did you die on this property?
They said about 75 yards. They said about 75 yards out here.
Come in here to try to maybe talk to somebody who might be in here. So if you are, can you touch one of these purple lights on the ground in front of me? That would let me know you're here and that you can hear me.
Okay. Let's go ahead and turn that off.
Sister.
What about sister? Who is this?
Is there anyone out here in the trees in the woods behind the house? Who is me? Can you tell me your name? My name is Ryan. Do you stay out here because the house has bad memories?
Is there any chance that you're up here and willing to talk to me?
More.
More what? More what? If you're using this box to talk to me, you said more. What did you mean by more? I don't know what you meant by that. Can you tell me what you meant by that?
Okay, I can't see a damn thing with this light in my face. Let me see. Okay, there's a shrub right there. I will start walking back towards the house because I made it straight back behind the house. I feel like this is about 75 yards. I can't even really see the house anymore. Me neither. You can't see the house anymore? Is that why you told me to come out here? I'm stuck on something. Okay. I forgot I was attached. to a battery pack via a cord in my running to the face camera here. God, I can't see a thing. Who was it that was talking to me that said me neither? Can you tell me your name again more clearly so I can hear you?
Well, one last chance here for anybody to say something. So if you have something to say, now's your chance.
I'm gonna stop rolling on the spirit box for a second. I had a couple interesting responses, but I need to find a path through here because I have got myself into a thicket and I don't know where I am. Okay. How could I walk away from the house and get myself so lost and turned around? Okay. That's a road. Is it this way? I don't think it's this way. How did I get out here? I'm literally like boxed in without a walking path. All this shrubbery here. I did not walk through that. I definitely didn't go through there. Let's go this way, because this is the way I hear the road. I feel like I just got turned around, and I feel like this is the way that I came. Yes, okay, this is the way that I came, right over here. I literally thought I was going in the opposite direction, but I mean, where that is, right behind the house. 1979, this could have all been clear. There could have been less trees. It's hard to tell how far back, but that was as far back as I could go walking straight without, as you saw, really getting into the thick of it, which if it was daytime, I would happily scrub through the brush, but not being able to see what's inside before I push through because it's dark could be a bad idea. Thick brush like that, there could be all sorts of animals hibernating in there, or sleeping in there. Ugh. Lord.
All right, guys, I had to cut my face camera because it was about to die. The camera I'm holding is about to die. And the camera up here in this back room, if it isn't already dead, it's about to die. So I'm going to go grab that. Okay, it's still going.
I'm gonna stop right here. I found the house again. There it is. Or wait. That's the cabin. The house is over here. Okay. Yeah. Right? No. Okay, I am completely and utterly lost. I need to call Dave and find out what direction I need to go in.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Okay. Course, everything will die at once.
That is definitely not a ranch-style house. That is multiple stories. I feel like I just walked onto someone else's property. I don't know where I am. I think I wandered onto someone else's property by accident. Hopefully they don't see me out here and start taking matters into their own hands or call the cops on me. I really don't know where I am. Okay, there's a clearing. I'm almost afraid to use my flashlight now because I don't want anyone to see me and think I'm just some suspicious idiot. Which I am a suspicious idiot right now, but I don't know where the to go. I really did it this time, guys. I really did it this time. I'm gonna have to wait for Dave to get worried because he's gonna finish his session and probably come over to the house and be like, "Where's Ryan?" And the truth is, Dave, I have absolutely no clue. Okay, here's the thick brush that I was at. Was it this way? I don't know. Come on, Dave.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach.
Even if he just shined a light in the air to let me know what direction to go. Let me think about what to do right now. I don't want to walk any closer to those houses because I don't know whose houses those are. Some random guy with a camera walks up behind your house at 3 o'clock in the morning. This has turned from a ghost hunting mission into a find my way back to the damn cabin mission. I just heard movement. Here we go.
Hello?
Hey, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you walk outside and shine a light into the trees from behind the cabin and the house? Because I don't know where the I am.
Yeah, hold on.
I thought that I was walking straight back away, and then I thought I walked back the same direction that I was coming, or that I came.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to the back, and I think I was walking up on someone's house because it was like a 2-story house. Because I thought it was the cabin and the house side by side. But then I ended up walking up, and the house to the left that was supposed to be the house was like a 2-story house. And I'm like, that's not the right house. And I'm like walking up, I think I almost walked up on those people's house.
That's a good way to get shot.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want someone to like think I was an intruder and some creepy guy walking through the woods up on their house in the dark. But I'm back at the pass now. I'm back where I was like boxed in to begin with, where I first had the spirit box session. Wait, so it is, I was right. Why did I think that was incorrect?
I don't know, where are you?
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna walk back towards you. Oh my god. I can see your flashlight beam for sure. I literally only walked like 75 yards into the woods, and then I had like a brain fart. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm lost, I don't know where to go. Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. How do I get out of this? Okay, let me go this way. And then this way. Okay. I've been saved. That was the right house.
Where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh.
I'm gonna come out here. Okay. That is how you know that I am in desperate need of sleep. I feel like a dementia patient. Because I just got lost walking 50 yards into the woods. I literally have absolutely zero brain function right now and today.
Yeah, it's probably would be a good time to wrap this up. And
I was gonna say that we should actually like film ourselves sleeping, but guys, to be honest, I really don't think, I mean, you've seen me throughout this investigation. I am not capable of anything right now. Literally, I just got lost going 50 yards into the woods because I have absolutely no brain function right now.
oh my gosh.
Because I walked into the woods, turned around, and was like, no, this isn't. I literally almost tried to walk back through the brush because I thought that was back. I thought I was supposed to walk that way.
Yeah.
And then I turned around, I was like, no, I'm going this way. And I saw the house here, and it looked way taller than what it actually is now. Like from back there, my brain, my eyes saw it as being way taller and 2 stories. And I feel like, I don't know if it's like me hallucinating, whether I'm so tired I'm hallucinating.
It's possible.
But I got very confused all of a sudden. So.
Well, it might be a really good time to end the episode here so Ryan can go and get some sleep. Yeah, I don't think we're going to film ourselves sleeping, guys. We're both going to just pass out immediately and not hear anything that goes on. Yeah, I think it's time to call this one a night.
I think it's time for a vacation or something.
Yeah.
I think it's time to vacation or staycation, just sleep and not, because the past since before Thanksgiving, it's been every day, like film, edit, upload. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
My brain is so, not to complain, guys, because we love what we do. I'm not saying that we don't love what we do, but I think it's time for us to just take a breather here, which is probably why, if you're watching this right now, last week's episode that you watched, or last week's video, was a marathon of older episodes, because those do help us have mental sanity and clarity, and as you can see from me right now, I need some mental sanity and clarity. So
Yes, I think that's very true.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed watching me wander around the woods like I was in a cognitive decline, hit that thumbs up button.
It's a good thing you took your phone.
I know. I literally, eventually I would have just walked back up here and then been like, oh, thank God it's the right house.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I walked to almost the edge here and was like, that's not the right house.
It does look different from back here.
I better turn around before whoever's living there shoots me.
Yeah.
So then I walked back into the woods, and then I was even more f***ed up and turned around. Anyway, if you watched all the way to the end of this video, make sure you comment down below and say,
Ryan, take a vacation.
And we'll see you on the next episode, on the next adventure at the next location on our paranormal quest.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, if you enjoyed that episode, maybe click on one of these other videos and watch some more. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click on this button right down below. We want to thank all of our YouTube members and Patreon supporters for making all of this possible. And we'll see you next time